weeks ago.
Okay, we are live.
Hey guys, happy Thursday. We are here with Stephanie from West Care. I am so excited to have you here. There's so much going in town kind of in your world. So I would like, it's a good time to share that with people and kind of what is available out there because sometimes we don't know. So let's really start with Hildy's house and kind of what that looks like and what that is.
Hildy's House is an all-women's treatment facility that is located here in Bold City. It's the only one in the tri-state area. It's the only one I know of.
In
and
Arizona, maybe, right?
And I'm pretty sure I know not in Vegas either. So, and it's not a hospital setting. It's a house. It's warm. It's different. It's my favorite thing ever. We take women and children, both pregnant women in recovery, or if they have babies 1 and under, as well as work at DCS, so kids can come visit their moms and moms can see their kids. It's very family oriented.
Which definitely is different than kind of what you would think.
Oh yeah. I've been to several, and not that there isn't tons of other great ones, but this just seems to be, I think, women centered.
Really special. Yeah. All women's and children. So it's just really kind of designed around them and getting these parents clean.
Yep.
Keeping the family together.
Absolutely.
How long do they usually stay there, and what does that really look like?
Well, they have medical providers that give them, some can stay 30 days. Most likely it's 60, 90, 120, just depending on their need, whether, their history, their trauma, their past, their addiction, all of those things come into play. Some heal quicker, some take longer.
Yeah.
But I would say they usually stay anywhere from 60 to 90 on average.
Do you think that is maybe why the longevity of the program is so good? Because you guys are really based around the personal person and not just kind of like, oh, hi, here you are, and here's 30 days, you're out.
Right. Absolutely. I think longevity with West Care as a whole is super important because you can come into Hildy's house and then after that we have other resources. Sober living, safe house. We have apartments, transitional housing. We have different things that we will work with, and we're not just going to throw them on the street or set them back out to the world to, make decisions.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have clients, some of my girls in transitional housing that I've had for 2, 3, 4 years.
Wow.
They've been through treatment. They've got their kids. They've got jobs. I had one just graduated her GED.
Oh.
One just got her baby back. Yeah. So I keep them for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm a little stalker though.
Become one of the family, really.
Yes.
Which is probably really nice. I'm assuming anyone who's wanting to change their life and, get clean, build their family needs that continued support.
Oh yeah. And most of them haven't had that kind of resources and caring. It's just good.
Yeah. How does West Care and Hildy's house kind of work together?
They're the same in a sense. Hildy's house is ran by West Care.
Okay.
So they get outpatient treatment afterwards if needed, counseling, groups, one-on-one. We take them to meetings and events. Cheryl cooked Easter dinner. Her and Hildy went over there, and I was like, oh, it's so sweet. It's just so, it makes me like kind of teary-eyed because it's so family. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go take the girls for a walk. What? Like they're my kids. I'm going to go take my kids for a walk. It's very nice. And then they come to our office for other things if they need anything. Shoes, paperwork, birth certificates, clothes, anything they need. We work on it. We make sure it gets done.
I love that. Gives them probably family support that maybe they don't have and feel like they are part of a family now.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the DV shelter, the safe house. That kind of also works hand in hand depending on what these women what their situation is, how that looks, and not even just from locally. That comes from all over, right?
Oh, yeah. We get, I took one in from Michigan last week. She's fleeing a domestic violence situation, and for her sanity to feel safe, she came this far. Knows no one, never been here. The DV shelter is safe house. It's the only one in the area. 16, 22. I don't know how many beds. Oops.
That's okay.
But, and they do work hand in hand because say we have a woman at Hildy's house, that she's graduated her 60, 90, however many days, and she's waiting to find a place and she has a kid or two or whatever, she can stay at the safe house until we find other avenues for her because 9 times out of 10, addiction or recovery and domestic violence go hand in hand.
I bet.
Even if they haven't been a victim primarily, they've seen it or heard of it or been around it. So
Yeah. That's kind of crazy to think, right?
it is.
Domestic violence happens to you as an adult, but you can also witness it as children, which then continues to affect your life
Oh,
and
yeah.
takes you probably into this exact same circle, right?
A lot of times you find that domestic violence does stem from childhood. I have. Statistically, it's seen somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Which is
more
really
common
sad.
than not, unfortunately.
Very.
So if so you work with the police station, the first responders, this kind of your big picture of this is actually very huge. You are the one who is called. You are the one who shows up. You then start to figure out where this person's going, where we start, what we do, what happens next. How does that kind of work for you?
So, with Laughlin, Metro, Bullhead, Mojave County Sheriffs, anytime there's a domestic violence, they can call me to go help them or assess the situation, get the woman to safety, get a temporary order if needed, whether I'm relocating her quickly or I'm putting her at the safe house. If there's an addiction, Hildy's is always there, the need for recovery. I do a lot more for first responders as well, but they all go hand in hand because whether they need, treatment or they need safe house or relocated or however it is, we make sure that they get what they need.
Those options are there.
Mhm.
They're not alone.
Yeah, always.
Oh, that's a lot. How do you balance all that personally? I mean, it's kind of a lot to see, a lot to take on, a lot to do. I'm sure it's 24 hours a day.
It is. It is. I'm better at it now. I'm on year 7. I'm better at it now, and my boss would probably say, "Oh no, you still overcross boundaries." But I just make time for the gym, and I let's go shopping. I'll just have a day to shop. I do take
Yeah.
my self-care time because it's important, and I try to explain that to everybody I know in the medical field. And I'm learning more now that I've watched it take so much of my time, energy, and emotions. I get super attached.
I bet. I don't even know how you couldn't really.
It's hard. It's really hard. But again, I'm working on it, and I talk to a lot of people in the medical field, and they say the same thing. It's you got to have that wall. It doesn't mean you can't be less compassionate or
Right.
emphasize with these people. You just have to know where to stop or let go of my.
Where the boundary is. Boundaries are so hard to set.
I don't say that word.
No boundaries for Stephanie.
Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit more kind of, I know Hildy's house is so amazing. There's a lot of things that, constantly are going on. Tell us a little bit more about maybe some different options you have. So I know that you have Hildy's house. I know you have the safe house, but there's also some other treatment things that you guys are involved in. So really these women can kind of be in that safe spot with you for a long time.
I mean, West Care's general, we offer parenting classes, which most, if not all, we all need to, do that. We have parenting classes. I want to say that's Thursday from 2 to 3. Please don't quote that. And then we have
4 to 5.
Oh, okay, 4 to 5. And outpatient services, even when you're done with treatment or when you're done with, victimization, if you will, you need counseling. So we have outpatient treatment and all of those things. There's groups, DV victim, DV supporters, all those things that we offer. So a lot of our clients, whether it's treatment or safe house, we stick with them for a while to make sure that when they do venture or move on or move out, they're successful.
Yeah.
They're less likely to return. That's my goal.
That's a great goal.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. But we have sober livings for those that need, continuous care after treatment or, to be in sober living. I also have a transitional house, which is like, I call it my third step.
Mm-hmm.
So those girls go from Hildy's to sober living to transitional, and now they're like ready to open their door and go, but still need to be held
Just a
accountable. Yeah. And they're great.
Man, that's amazing. Does this have to be women who are set in emergency situations, or is this something someone could just call you and be like, "Hey, I'm in a
No,
this is my life, and I need help out."
no, absolutely. A lot of these aren't always crisis. I think the DV it tends to be more crisis based, but the Hildy's house, most addicts will, we call it rock bottom, or they'll just go, I need help. I need a way out. And they make that one phone call, and we'll show up at the hospital if that's where you're at, or we'll show up at your mom's, at your house, at your work. We have done that thing too. I was at a doctor's office last week. The doctor's office was like, this lady really needs assistance and help. I went right out to the doctor's office. She got in my van and I left with her.
Wow.
So yeah, you don't have to be in a crisis. If you need help in any way, shape, or form with just about anything, you can call WestCare. That's what I love about us.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, and you're not just a short term. You really are kind of in it with them longer term than you would think that, anyone would just kind of pick this up and be like, oh, okay. Which I can only imagine helps, your numbers and people who are successful, women who end up finding. I'm sure that you have a ton of sad stories. Do we have any good stories of
I have more good than sad.
Oh, that's good.
I have way more good than sad. I resorted, and I thought about this last night before coming here. It's kind of like when you go to the doctor for a cold. You get medicine, you take it 7 to 10 days, and you're better. And you don't go see the doctor again until you're sick.
Right.
With us, you see us, and you stay with us so you don't get sick again.
Ugh. It's good.
It's just a good way to look at it. Any kind of trauma or crisis that you're going through. And when it does happen again, you're prepared or you know how to handle it.
And have a safe place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Have a face.
Always.
Have a person.
Mm-hmm. Always. My favorite good story would have to be, I just have so many. I had a lady about 1.5 years ago. And the reason this one's kind of close to my heart is I just finished it, but she was visiting here, as we have we're a transient town. She was visiting here from Atlanta in July at a wedding, and she was beat really bad, and also had an addiction. Well, I got her from the hotel that night. He went to jail, and I kept her, and I stayed with her for a few days at my safe house. I mean, washing her hair, everything. Because she had some injuries, we had to get her cleared to fly home. She flew home. I worked with the people in Atlanta to get her proper help and counseling through a different state so that she could be good for court, which was in February. And we got him for attempted murder, and he's got 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Saved her life.
Yeah. And
because she probably would have ended up back with him or just kind of the same cycle that happens often.
Right. And she's changed her whole outlook. It took me months, but she no longer drinks, and she can advocate for it one day. Yeah. And that's the best part. You have the bad days, but the good parts make the good parts worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just always look forward to it.
What do you say to those women who are maybe in those spaces and kind of in denial of it? I know it's easy to kind of make ourselves feel good about spaces that we're in,
Mm-hmm. If you have to question that it's okay, it's not okay. If you wouldn't want it done to your daughter, it's not okay. And some women I find are embarrassed about it sometimes. And I can see that. But it's more embarrassing to not say something, not do it. And it's the same with addiction. And that's, the positive stories from there are just great because they're overcoming the trauma, they're overcoming the addiction, and then they're fighting to be this new person, this new life. Mm-hmm. It's breathtaking. But it's okay. And there's so many women, I promise, every woman.
You're not alone.
You are not. And it's okay to not be okay. So you can tell someone, and I assure every woman that calls me, no matter what time of day or night is, I have someone that's like you. I can usually introduce one person to another that has some similarities so they can learn from each other to go, okay, we're not going to do this drug. We're not going to go back to this perpetrator.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. I know. So, you spoke at my Rotary meeting and it becomes really personal when you start to talk about your stories and kind of what you guys do and how you help people. And there was a few of us that, bawled our eyes out through the time. So and I think it's life-changing when women start to realize that you're not alone or that you have a space or that you have a person or that there is just someone. It doesn't have to be a 911 call, right? It doesn't have to be that bad. It can be the gut feeling that's just telling you it's time to get out. Mm-hmm. And you have a phone call to make.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Whew. Yeah.
You want to know those statistically, and I got to tell you, even someone that's just experienced it on whatever, most people either know someone with an addiction and or a victim or survivor of domestic violence, almost everyone either knows, has seen, heard, been, almost everyone.
Yeah.
It's just,
Unfortunately, we're all
it's
touched
getting
in
a little
some
bit,
way or another.
yep. And it's getting a little bit more talked about and known, which I appreciate, because now when I go in courts with a victim, they're not looked at like, oh, she's just going to take him back, or oh, she asked for it, or, something.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of women don't come forward. And same with addiction. Oh, this is only going to be short term or short time. And that's
Yeah.
what I love about, no, you're here with me for the long haul. I have 5-6 year clients.
Wow. A lot of families that have been able to, I'm sure, move on and grow,
Mhm.
where you get to kind of stay in touch with the kids as well. I'm sure that's heartwarming.
Something I get in trouble for. I call, how is he? He just turned 12. Oh, great. Or, one of my recent clients, she's 7 years sober. She was one of my first clients, and she's 7 years sober. I had her at Safe House before
Wow.
Hildy's. Yeah, and she's amazing. Amazing. She's a domestic violence victim and a complete addict in recovery.
7 years sober.
7
That's
years.
a long time.
Very long. 7 days is a long time for some. I mean, I don't like to ever minimize someone's recovery.
Yeah.
If it's 7 days, 7 months, 7 years, it's yours. So I'm really good about that.
If they needed help, is there a specific number that they should be calling?
I don't want to make this a joke. My number is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can call me anytime, day or night. For any crisis or resource that you may want or need, you don't have to hesitate or be scared. I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to call the hospital. I'm going to make sure you're good and you're safe. A lot of times, too, especially in addiction, they're too scared to call if they're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
No, we're going to get through it together, and you're not going to get in trouble with me. I can't take you to jail. So there's my number, the 928-201-5136, and then Cheryl's number, and I'd like to give hers because there's nothing she can't answer. I don't know her number. 928, I think it's 234. Do you have it, Jeff?
Yes, I do. It's 928-234-6594. And that's Cheryl on the screen there. You can talk about her.
Yeah, she's probably one of the most amazing. She is the most amazing person I know. Even when she's mad at me, it's great. Or when I break the rules. But she's the backbone. She's the vice president of Westcare, Arizona. And she does an amazing job. She works around the clock. And her and Bobby DeBat are created an amazing thing and team. And it just continues to grow. And
We have a picture of Bobby, too, right? Was he the one speaking?
Yes, he is affiliated, does a lot of work with our drug courts. He does a lot with all of our drug courts and works very close with them, which is great because we find a lot of our kids in DCS cases, women in drug court, or men. I don't want to leave men out because we can help men as well. And Bobby is our clinical supervisor. He does an endless amount of things for everyone. He's my counselor most times. He's amazing.
I bet. Well, being in social work, I am sure that it weighs on you at times. So you need that support, right? You need that person who also understands and listens and can hear you out.
Yeah. Or yell at me when you're personalizing it, Stephanie. I'm like, oh, crap.
Who's this?
Is part of our team. That's Bobby there in the back. And Emily, who I call my work sister. Love her to pieces. She's one of our counselors, been with Westcare a long time. Her and I have been around a long time. April's our office manager, another backbone to me. Cheryl, obviously our vice president. Angelina's a case manager at our treatment center. She does great work for those girls. Martin, front office, as well as does intake. And then Cassie, she does a lot of intake and different groups and stuff with the girls. That is that's a good core of our office there.
It's nice.
And even when I'm mad at them, I just love them all to pieces.
Well, it sounds like you guys are a family.
We are.
It's important. And you make people feel like they're at home.
We try.
I love it. Well, I am so glad that you came today. I think it's always super important to put a face to, maybe a number that they may be calling.
Yeah.
It may be one person that we affect today or 100. You just never know.
Oh, that would be great.
But it's
Thank
nice.
you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
Kara was so nervous, and I'm like, oh, this is easy.
No, it's going to be fine. It's, when you're passionate about what you're here for, it's really easy to talk about it.
It is.
And I think it's what we get to do with the shows. We get to put a face to the name and a face to the idea and thoughts. I'm sure that you guys accept donations and things like that if people wanted to do donations? Could it be clothes, money? How does that all kind of work? Is there any opportunity for that?
Well, we do. Anything that when you go in your bathroom, you look at all the things you need. Right now, I want to say I have 58 women currently housed.
Wow,
Could
that's
be
a
more,
lot.
but shoes, clothes. I mean, I spring clean almost monthly just to help the girls in the house. And then we have different entities. We had a golf thing that did a good thing for us. Where out there they did some money and a lot of toiletries and clothes, work clothes for when they go back on the workforce. Baby stuff is always needed. These women are pregnant or just had brand new babies, and Cheryl and I have been to the store about 4 times this month for brand new babies.
Oh,
Car seats and strollers and yeah,
basic necessities.
basic, very basic bottles, anything you can think of. The stuff that we take for granted
Yeah,
is like
we don't even think
priceless
twice
to
about
these
it.
people. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you for coming. I am so thankful that
Absolutely.
you are here in town and for everything that you do. I think it's amazing that you go out and, speak your truth and your word and get the word out so that, again, you never
Absolutely.
know who will need you.
Absolutely.
And you're just a phone call away.
That's right.
Hey, guys, support local, shop local. Again, if you are looking for somewhere to donate or kind of get involved in, I'm sure there's always opportunities for people to help one way or another. The phone numbers are in the chat and will be on our post. But again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Stephanie.
You're welcome.